It's not a drill.
All right. I really don't. Everybody's going to practice today, so in some form or another, and we'll see how that goes. Look forward to the challenge of playing the Broncos. We get rid of the record on this thing as we evaluate them and look at them as a team. And their defense is one of the top defenses in the NFL. Red zone, they're top, and then third downs are top, and they're playing like crazy, and their offense is like one fingertip away from winning games. So we've got to make sure we have a good week of practice and get ourselves ready. And it's an AFC West opponent, which is always, that's great competition. Anyways, with that, time's yours.
With the Broncos defense, earlier this year they made some trades to the deadline and got rid of some of their better players, but they still keep going. What do you attribute that to?
Yeah, well, they're well coached and they play hard. They still have good players there, so they play hard. So,
Andy, there was a stat CBS showed during the game. You guys have had 7 straight games with the turnover. I just wonder if there's something that you've noticed that's a theme throughout that, or if it's just at this time of the year, that's something you need to, try to cut down on.
Yeah, you can't turn the ball over. I mean, we're always constantly talking about that. And I'm sure there's not necessarily one thing is happening, but the end result is a turnover. So we got to take care of the ball.
Coach, an in-house matter. We haven't had an update on McCole Hardman in a while. If all things go well, he might be able to come back next week. How's his progress in injury?
Yeah, you know what? He's doing well. He had lost some weight. He's put the weight back on, which is good. And he's out running now, and he's getting close. Yeah.
What's your expectation? You think you might have him back next week?
Yeah, there's a chance. Yeah, there's a chance. Give him a couple more days here. We'll see. But he's doing well.
I feel like Kadarius is in a place where he could play.
We'll see. I'm gonna let him get out there and work a little bit, and we'll just see how he does. We're not, I'm not gonna bring him back and have him hurt it again. That's not what we're looking at. So just see what he can do.
Did Tooney have a setback? Maybe in practice Friday or?
No, his thing was just getting that final push. That you can get off of it. In the run game, it's day to day. So he feels better this week than he did last week. And I just thought that, he's made as much progress as he has. Let's just give him a little bit more time. So that's where I was at the end of last week.
Coach, it came out that Orlando Brown and Andrew Wiley are kind of the top 2 tackles in the league giving up pressures. What's been the process in trying to help them? I know there've been a lot of chip blocks and things like that, but what's been the process?
Yeah, well, they've gone to get some good players, and yeah, we do try to help them with chips like with anybody that's in there. I mean, these defensive ends we've played are pretty good, and the 2 that we're playing this week are good too. So, that's part of it.
Andy, overall mentality of the team after a loss, you guys got in front of you. Probably got to win out to try to, make a shot at the 1 seed there. Just still trying to emphasize, things are still out there in front of them.
Yeah, the guys know. I mean, they know where they're at. Nobody knows better than they did about what's out front. So you don't have to stand up there and preach to them about that. They want to do well, and they want to win games. That's a mentality of this team. So they battled their hearts out Sunday, and it didn't work out. Come back and let's go.
Coach, the challenge of playing a team almost back-to-back, so close in a short time. What is the challenge in that?
Yeah, we've done this the last couple of years with them, so with this group. And so the challenge is you just played them, and they kind of know what you've got, and you know what they've got, and you go play. But we're okay with that.
Andy, thank you. Obviously, the guys are aware that that Bengals team is a team that you could potentially see again. What's the balance of sort of compartmentalizing that and moving on versus using some stuff that you saw?
Yeah, so I think the important thing is you learn from every win and loss, and then you move on to the next game, and that's what these guys have done. I mean, they're tunneled in. I mean, we're deep into, this thing as coaches. We were deep into it Monday morning, and so by the time y'all woke up, it was lunchtime for us.
When you say you learn from your wins and your losses, obviously it's been 3 times small point differential in the defeat. But what do you take away from that? So what you saw in Sunday's game doesn't repeat against Denver.
Yeah, well, the things we talked about after the game, I'm not going to go into it. I mean, I've already covered that. I'm again on to Denver here, so we're trying to get ourselves right for that, and they got a good football team, so we got to make sure we're right for Denver.
I'm sorry. I guess what I'm saying is because you said what you saw on film and it was lunchtime for us. What did you see on film? Not right after the game when you spoke to us, but what did you see on film coming back that you felt like
what I talked about Monday. Yep, yeah, same deal.
What have you seen from Melvin, and is there a chance he can healthy this week or in the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, I mean, there's that chance. We're fairly healthy there, so but I'm glad we have him here. He does a nice job for us. So.
When it comes to Patrick in this league, he's been largely dominant, and this team in particular seems to have gotten him a couple times. Not to say he's good at Joel, but how much you sense is getting him that he sort of can't get over that Bengals hump in a way.
Yeah, listen, we're past the Bengals thing. I'm on, way past that. So let's keep going on to Denver. I mean, you're asking me questions about them, but you're asking me to forget about them. So they're forgotten. On to this one.
Last 3, we'll go Nate. Okay, I can't think y'all care. Go ahead.
Coach, sometimes we talk to the players when they get ready to go to the Mile High Stadium and say, I can't breathe there, I've got to have extra oxygen, and others, it's not bothered at all. So how do you prepare a team when some guys it really affects and other guys not at all?
Yeah, we've been okay there with the breathing part. It's been late in the year. Normally you're in pretty good shape. The weather's a little cooler, and you go in and it doesn't hit you quite like maybe early in the season.
Right. Andy, 2 things, if you don't mind. One about Justin and one about Patrick. It seemed that you might have had either a conversation or something with Justin last week after his comments, and I wondered if you felt the need to talk to him again after the Twitter post he had yesterday.
Yeah, he's good. He's all right. He's good. He knows.
And on Patrick, I wonder if, as the Man of the Year nominee, what that sort of says about how he's become emblematic of your team and how that sort of stands for him in a broader way.
Yeah, sure. He does a great job leading here, but he also takes that into the community. He's done that since he's come here. He's big, obviously, on kids and their needs and people in general. He's got a big heart that way for people. So, and I think it's a tribute to him and his family and the efforts that he puts forward. You're tired during the season, but yet he gets out there and gives back, and that's an important quality to have.
Coach, you mentioned that the Broncos defense is still what it is. The offense hasn't quite gotten there yet. They've made a lot of changes, right? They brought Russell Wilson. It hasn't been exactly what they want. Have you seen things from them as they've gone throughout the year when you look back and take they're getting closer to that? And just a little bit about Russell Wilson and the respect you have for him.
Yeah, so I've known Russell, competed against him for a long time. So he's a heck of a player. They're, like I said, they're like fingertips away, and our guys have a chance to look at that on tape, which is important to understand. And you have to make sure that you get yourself right, technique wise, to play against those receivers, and in particular him with his timing and run ability. So he can still scoot. And he's slippery in the pocket. So you've got to make sure you handle all of that the right way. And the best thing that I can do as a coach or our coaching staff can do is show the players. And the players want to see that. They want to learn from it. And but that tells the story. So I can sit here and tell you he's a fingertip away, but they're seeing it, and they understand that.
Last one, Nate.
Andy, leading an organization for 24 years, seeing how much the Man of the Year award is the most prestigious award you can win during a season, just what feeling does it give you when the quarterback is nominated for the award?
Yeah, well, he's the one that's one of the faces of the franchise. You know, he's out there, and I mean, this kid is known throughout. You probably could say throughout the world. I mean, I was over in Italy and people were going Mahomes. You know, so I'm going, all right. They know who he is, and it's a tribute to him and how he handles himself. You know, and I think it's great. I mean, I'm proud of him for what he's done.
All right.
Okay.
How you doing?
What's the challenge in playing a team so close together? You guys seem to do it all the time against Denver.
Yeah, I mean, I think the challenge is that they're a good football team. Their defense is special. They have a good scheme. They have good players. And so when you play division opponents, you obviously know they've studied you all off season. So you try to have a concept of what you do best, but at the same time throw in some wrinkles so that they can't be on top of your best plays. And so for us, it'd be a great challenge against a great defense to go out there and try to find a way to put up enough points to win.
So is the game plan different when you play them twice in almost like 3 weeks or something?
I mean, obviously you have similar plays, but you utilize plays that kind of go off of each other, so they can't get a good concept of what you're trying to do. And I mean, they're a great defense, man. They do a lot of great things, and so it'll be a great challenge for us as an offense. And I got to do my best to get the ball in my hand and let these guys make plays.
Patrick, Andy really made the point as far as moving out of the Cincinnati game to this Denver game. I wondered what your process of doing that is, and is it more difficult when it's a team that you feel like you could potentially see again?
Not for me. In this league, you got to move on, or you're going to make one loss turn into two. So you just you watch the tape on Monday. You get a sense of what you could do better and what you can take away that you did positive. Then you move on to the next week, and that's what we're doing, and we're ready to play a great football team in the Denver Broncos.
Patrick, is there a sense of pride in the fact that you've never lost to the Broncos in your time here, and just what's always given you so much success against them?
Yeah, we just really emphasize playing our division opponents. That's something that we work on all off season. In order to get where you want to go, you have to win your division most times. And so for us, the coaches do a great job of giving us great game plans, and then I try to go out there and execute them. And we just really emphasize trying to beat our division opponents, and the Broncos have been one that's been a great challenge for us every year.
How were you made aware that you were the team's nomination for the Walter Payton Man of the Year award?
Well, they let me know a few weeks back. We had the announcement last night at my gala. But I mean, obviously a tremendous honor. I mean, not only to be the Walter Payton nominee for the NFL, but for the Chiefs, who have the most Walter Payton Man of the Years, and it's such a prestigious honor for this organization, especially to give back to the community that gives us so much. And there's so many deserving guys on our team. So for me to have my turn this year, something that I'll hold for the rest of my life.
Patrick, I know you have bigger goals, but you can also clinch the AFC West this year. What kind of achievement do you feel like that is? Understanding again, you have bigger goals.
No, it's a huge deal, man. I mean, obviously you want to win the Super Bowl every year, but it starts our first goal when we walk in is to win the AFC West, and that takes week in and week out great preparation. It's a division that's always tough, always has great teams in it, And we know whenever we go in every week, they're going to give us our best shot. And if you look at all the games that we play, we've won a lot of them, but they always come down to the very end. So we know it's a hard thing to do, and we're going to take pride in trying to do that and win every time we play against these opponents.
I know you don't know anything different than winning the AFC West, but I was just wondering whether this one might feel a little different, given how the other teams really seem to load up this year to kind of take you down.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's a little different. I mean, we feel like this division is one of the best divisions in football every single year. And I think you see the records go lower because we're all kind of beat up on each other. But we've done a great job of winning those close, hard-fought football games. And that's a tribute to the coaches and the culture that Coach Reid has built here that started even before I was here. And so we know it's going to be a great challenge week in and week out, year in and year out. And so we just focus on doing whatever we can to put ourselves in position to win it.
Patrick, I know with the team of Mahomes and all the stuff you've done, going back to the Walter Payton Man of the Year award, a nominee, but how impressive you've been that's been able to grow in your time here and what it is now, and just seeing that come to light, you've been able to help so many people.
Yeah, I mean, it's way past what I even dreamed of it ever being. And I think that goes to the people that I have around me and the people in the communities that have brought me up is they've been willing to give back and help me kind of follow this dream of giving back to the communities that help me out so much. And it takes everybody. It's not just me. I mean, I'm the face of it. But there's so many people behind the scenes that make this thing go. And the community, like I said, in Kansas City and Tyler, Texas, and Lubbock, Texas, that have donated their time, their money, whatever it is, to make this foundation become what it is. It's truly special and something that I'll have for the rest of my life, and something I never could have even dreamed of.
Last time you lost this year, you guys won 5 games in a row. What do you think it is about this particular room that enables you to rebound in that fashion for such a long stretch?
Yeah, I think it's just a mindset of when you lose, you get that sour taste in your mouth, but you have to kind of do whatever you can to get better from it. It's cool to see with a lot of young guys that you do that, because a lot of times you see the young guys, it can go bad fast, but we've had guys that bounce back and continue to work to improve, learn, like I said, from the negatives, take away from the positives as well, and be better the next time we step on that field. And that's what you want when you're kind of getting to this late part of the season, when you're trying to build to make a playoff run.
Patrick, are you a believer that you learn more from a loss than a win?
I think you have to learn from both. In order to be great in this league, you can't. You don't want to lose, so you have to be able to learn from those wins just as much as you learn from those losses. And the losses might, I guess, set a little bit of a fire under you sometimes, where you want to go out and especially that next week and prove that that's not who you are. And I think guys understand that is that we left some tape out there that we weren't necessarily happy with. So how can we be better this next week, and so that we can improve as this season goes on?
How has the foot felt the last couple of days after the game?
It's felt good. I mean, you always deal with bruises and little things in the NFL season. And so luckily for me, it's just a bruise and something that I can just kind of bounce back from and be out there at practice and keep getting better like we're trying to do.
I don't know if you saw the ESPN interview with Andrew Luck. He finally talked for the first time since he retired. And some of the things he talked about, the burden of being the face of the franchise and all that, and life changes. And you've gone through plenty of that stuff here recently as well with the addition of your son. How have you balanced all that stuff and still put all the work in that you need to put in to go be, at your best when you're out there on Sundays?
Yeah, I haven't seen the interview yet, but obviously I think it takes like I said, it takes a lot of people. It's not just me. It takes Brittany being at home with the babies and taking care of them throughout the day, making it easy when I come home. They're all happy and ready to see me. I get the easy part of it. It takes my family being behind me, supporting me. It takes people like a culture like I have here in Kansas City, to where I can come in and be myself, have this personality that I have. And it's hard. I mean, it's hard for anybody when you have this much pressure on you every single day to go out there and be your best. But when you put the right people around yourself, you can just enjoy it. And I think that's what I try to do every single day, is understand that it's a pressure and it's a hard opportunity, but you're blessed to have it. So you have to enjoy it every single day. And when I stop enjoying it, I think that's when I'll walk away. But I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
You guys, we'll go 3 or 4 more. We'll go with Vahe and we'll go around Nate, Steve. Go ahead.
Patrick, also with regard to the Man of the Year nomination, you'll always be a proud Texan, but at this point, I wonder how much you sort of identify as a Kansas Cityan too, and what this does kind of to, I don't know, fuse together your images, the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm like dual. I'm a Texan and a Kansas Cityan for sure. I mean, I'm building a house here. I'm gonna be here for a long time. I always will have a house in Kansas City, and I think that's just because I appreciate the people so much and how they've taken my family in and made it a part of this community. And I think y'all know, I mean, this community is special, and I always have that Texan in me a little bit, but the Kansas City in is definitely something that I'm proud of.
And is there a parallel, do you think, between you saying you're the face of the foundation, but also maybe of all things working behind it, and same here with the Chiefs, that, you know, you're the most visible part, but it's all the things behind the scenes that make you go?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, it takes, like I said, it takes everybody. It's not just me. And everything that I do, I just try to go out there and enjoy the moments that I have. I know I'm blessed to be in this organization, to have the people that I have around me, and to be in this city. And so I don't say I'm the face of the Chiefs, though. That's Coach Reid and that mustache. So I'm gonna follow behind his lead.
Patrick, you guys still lead the league in points per game, yet you have a minus turnover differential. When you hear that, just from your perspective, how good do you think the offense can get, or even better if you guys do cut down the turnovers?
Yeah, I mean, we just have to continue to get better at it. I mean, I have the interceptions, like I said last week. There's like one dumb play a game. I got away with it this last week when I tried to throw the ball to Juju and they dropped it. But kind of get away with the dumb plays. One dumb play I have a game, and then ball security. I mean, I talked about after the game. I mean, Travis fights those yards and he doesn't fumble. I mean, that's just one thing. The guy made a great play, and our defense, they're around the football, so I know the turnovers are coming. And when they do, I think we can even be a better team.
You guys have had the ability to be able to battle from behind, right? Like start off slow, not this year, but years past, and come back with a win. But do you feel like you guys have kind of gotten complacent and settled for that?
I don't think so. I think we just have to be better executing earlier in the game. I felt like we had a good drive that first drive, and without him knocking that ball down, I think we could have got the ball to Travis with a chance to score there on that first drive, and we ended up getting behind. And I think the good thing is that we've done it before, so we don't panic. We just go about doing our business and stuff like that, and taking it one play at a time. But obviously, we want to try to build up leads if we can. But whatever way the game takes us, I've trusted our guys are going to fight until the very end of it.
Last one, Nick. Patrick, heading into week 14, what offensive identity do you feel like you guys will be able to build?
Yeah, I think we're becoming more and more balanced as the year goes on, and I think that's going to be a good thing as the playoffs come. We're able to run the ball well. I think Pacheco's doing a great job, as well as those other backs of hitting it when it's there and getting the yards that's there. And then we've been spreading the ball around, and I think that's been the thing that I think it can take us into the playoffs. Is obviously we have guys that can make plays, but if we can spread the ball around, be balanced, I think we can be a better team at the end of the season than we were at the beginning.
Thanks, Patrick. Thanks, Patrick. Trey Smith coming in next. Really good one, though. But everything's coming out with them here. So I told her, can you do something that's 6-0? Exactly. This never goes in the dryer. Understandable.
Yes, thank you.
on your wood. Oh, thanks. I didn't know. I haven't been, no. But, yeah, I mean, my wife said, compromise. I'm not trouble then, I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Thank was out there, so. Yeah. Yeah, just a topic. Yeah. Shouldn't be too long. We're waiting on Trey here for a second, so. Me, go be talking? No.
When is the man of the year announced? Is it the week of the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's around that time.
There's a date.
And then only do NFL honors, and then they do a ceremony on the field before the Super Bowl game. So it should be one of those 2 days.
When is the NFL Man of the Year winner announced? February 1st, eve of the Super Bowl. No, this says 2019. Siri, you're out of date.
Yeah, it's always on that Saturday night before the Super Bowl.
They do it at the NFL honors. Along with 80 other awards.
Red carpet nonsense.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're 3 weeks away from Christmas. We're less than 3 weeks.
18 days?
That's incredible. It's like, where did it go? Has anybody in this room started Christmas shopping?
My wife finished in like October. You know.
Well, thankfully, she's not in the room. I've started, but I'm so
He's
far.
finishing up his obligations in here, so if you guys want to sneak in and try to get locker room stuff, you can, but it's quiet in there too, so it's up to you guys. He'll be in.
Is there anybody out in there?
There's not a ton, honestly, and there's only 6 minutes before we close that up anyway, so.
Yeah.
How long do you think, Brad?
I'm hoping 12:30, 12:40-ish, so, yeah.
So 6 minutes. The locker room closed.
God. What do you think, Robin? Should we take that 6 minutes or should we just chill?
You sit around in jail or stand in jail. Either one.
They're gonna close down very quick by the time we get there.
Well, see, they start coming out at the end because it isn't safe.
After this Bengals loss, I doubt it. They're all gonna hang out the players with us.
Just have to get them tomorrow. Okay.
No, I'm gonna try to get.
Okay, sounds good.
Trey is never coming. You know.
Yeah. You missed a negative. I don't like the negativity of that. This is not like you're on Wednesday.
If it was a Friday, I know he would have already left. He'd be home right now.
No, I like he's driving out right now. Maybe I'm.
He's coming, he's
No,
rolling.
no, we're talking about Friday.
I'm still convinced that one day Hitchens went home. Oh, he is right. There's Trey. Quicker than I thought.
Yeah, how y'all doing?
All right, guys, going far away.
Hey, Trey, for your cleats, for my cleats, and getting to do the National Blood Clot Alliance.
Mhm.
What does that mean to you as far as being able to have a platform for that organization and for everything you've gone through?
Yeah, it means the world. I put up a tweet and Instagram post about it, talking about how I had blood clots in 2018. And for me, it was a life-changing event. Obviously, anytime you have something that threatens your health and overall well-being, it's different. And experience that at a young age, it changed me a lot. And being able to represent that, bring more awareness to the cause, and really potentially save lives and just bring more awareness to it. I'm ecstatic. I'm stoked that I can have the opportunity to give it a platform.
You think about just because I know how much you got bombarded with questions during the draft from, I'm sure, teams and media and everything like that. First of all, for your health, any recurrence since then, or you just been completely healthy and no problems?
Yeah, none whatsoever. Been completely healthy. You got to really give a major shout out to University of Tennessee, their medical staff that did their due diligence, making sure that I was safe to play and just safe in my overall life as well. And then the Kansas City Chiefs medical staff has done a phenomenal job as well, just making sure that they were comfortable with the plan. And like I said, we have had zero instances, zero issues whatsoever, and it's been clean, but I thank God for it and, just thankful for my overall health and well-being.
You mentioned how it has changed you, and in a way it has, because you're regarded as one of the top young guards in the NFL. As you look back at your journey in the NFL now, knowing what you had to go through to get here, how much do you feel like, yeah, this was all worth it?
Yeah, it was hard going back to college days, not knowing if you're going to be able to play anymore. And then being able to be in the position I am today, is something short of amazing. Really thankful to be in the position I'm in. But, I think resiliency throughout my whole situation, man, like things did not go right for a long time for me. But ultimately, keeping the faith, keeping a positive mentality and a workman's mentality, just keep my head down, just keep working. Eventually, it's going to pan out. I'm thankful that I did that instead of choosing a different route, quitting and, sort of feeling bad for myself. But ultimately, super excited and thankful to be where I am today. Nothing short but the grace of God down here and standing in front of you today.
Trey, can you talk a little bit about the Denver defense? Coach was saying, looking at them, don't look at the record because they're still a very dangerous group. Can you talk a little bit about what you're seeing that kind of backs that up?
Yeah, I've briefly watched them on film a little bit, playing the guys last year. They're a very talented front seven and defensive front. Know a couple guys that play there. Haven't played them last year. Extremely athletic. They play hard. There's no quit in them. It's definitely going to be a tremendous challenge up front. Like Coach alluded to earlier, the record says something, but the team's playing extremely hard, and you have to respect that ultimately. But it's going to be a tremendous challenge up front.
And of course, a division opponent, they always want to come at the Chiefs because the Chiefs have been at the top. So you're expecting their best shot, I would think?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Does the air there bother you? Am I the only person who climbs stairs there and can't breathe?
Yeah, game last year definitely felt it a little bit. It's just different, that altitude. It's definitely pretty real. I have some family members that lived out there. And just, it's just something you have to acclimate yourself to as well.
Trey, when you look at your teammates on the tape, on the O-line, or also on the workroom together, what characteristics make you guys so unique?
I think it's just the workers' mentality. Just going out there. We talk about, the mentality. It doesn't matter how you feel, the state you're in, get the job done, whatever it takes, whatever it means. So I think ultimately that's how I try to play the game. Just play no matter what happens, play hard for my teammates, play hard for my brothers beside me. Ultimately our goal is to get a win every week. So you play with that mentality that whatever it takes, I'm going to give my effort on this field. I think good, positive things are going to come out of it.
And for you and your teammates, you guys have had a couple times where you got rolled up on or something, and you guys have soldiered through it. week after week, game after game. Where does it come from for you guys?
I think it's just sort of like an O-line mentality. We have a job we have to do, and we have to move guys up front, and we have to put players that get more recognition than us a lot of times, get more of the acclaim. But ultimately, we make things go. And, it's a sense of pride that I'm not going to let my team down. I'm not going to let my brothers down. I'm not feeling 100%, but I'm still going to go out here and try to give my all on this field. So for me, I think I can speak for myself, seeing a guy like Joe Tooney, definition of toughness to me, doesn't matter how Joe feels, he's going to try to go out there and get the job done. So for me, just seeing that, his leadership, it speaks volumes of how he plays. And for me, it's just like he set the standard. He's going out there, even when you don't feel like you just go out there and play.
I know Cincinnati and a couple of their opponents have kind of snagged 6 or 7 on third downs and get you at the line there. What all you guys have to evaluate and go through from a pass protection perspective to take care of who you need to?
Yeah, we just identify the fronts, man. A lot of times, Pat gives a call and we work with him. He's a field general out there, and we pretty much do what he says. We just adjust accordingly, whatever the game plan coaches has, and we sort of just operate like that.
Like Nick said, this time of year you're playing through all the bumps and bruises and everything. I know you've been having to kind of play with a knee brace lately. How does that impact you? Does it bother you at all?
No, I wouldn't say so. I think when you're limited athletically, sometimes you rely on the training, the technique, and the trust you have in that. So for me, going back to even the St. Joe's days, just trying to rely and focus and refine my technique to be in the positions I need to be.
Talk about being grateful. Are you grateful when Coach Bieniemy called you big head?
Yeah, he made that comment the other day, man. It's not the first time he called big head, but no, that's pretty funny, man.
Trey, the line doesn't always get like the credit or the praise, but people are quick to criticize. How do you block that out, or do you just ignore it, or what do you guys do?
Yeah, just back to having a workman's mentality, just keeping our head down and grinding. Pretty much just coming to work every day with a chip on your shoulder, wanting to get better, wanting to improve, finding facets of our game that we can get better at. I think ultimately you can ask anyone in this league, it's not going to go your way you want every Sunday, but there's always something to improve on. We're always chasing and striving for perfection. We're going to come short because we're human beings. But, I think at the end of the day, just keeping our head down, working, and just trying to improve week in and week out.
And Trey, another group that maybe doesn't get the recognition deserves the training staff for you guys. What is it about them that they seem to be able to do the job that they do to get you guys back out on the field?
Yeah, they're beasts. They do a great job. Been there a little bit this year. Just the positivity, just being there, working on things, addressing issues, figuring out and formulating plans, how we're going to get the job done. They've been extremely proactive this season and every year and trying to make sure we're at our best on Sundays, game days, and throughout the week. They do an excellent job working with them. I'm just thankful to have them in my life as well.
Good. Thanks, Trey.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course, as soon as you get broken down,